I'm Julia Jackson, and my talk is on ownership and engagement in learning. I'm an engaged student who takes ownership in her work, and I can say that. However, other students can't. Getting your students to be engaged is increasingly becoming harder, and most of that is because learning is becoming dull and predictable, and students just aren't going to go for that. It's time for a change. Teachers, it gets very frustrating when you compare your generation to your students' generation because we are completely different. It's time for us to introduce new learning styles into the classroom, and some of those may be being visually engaging, bringing in incentives, bringing in competition and teamwork, and just mixing it up. Being visually engaging can be very easy. All you have to do is bring in a picture or a video or a song or something to just get your students the motivation that they need. Like a song, teachers, think back to your days when you were actually in school, and parents too. Think about Schoolhouse Rock. A song popped into your head, didn't it? Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Things like that. They get stuck in your head in the form of lyrics, and they help you when, students with tests and teachers in the future. An example would be my dad, who's 37, hasn't been at school in nearly 20 years, and when I was learning the preamble, he sang the entire thing. And it's just because these lyrics are very helpful, and they get stuck in your head, and they're great for study help, and teachers should really use them in class. And other than songs, there's also videos and pictures. But when I say video, I'd like to clarify. I mean a Bill Nye the Science Guy extravaganza, or something from the History Channel, not a video made in 1985. Other than videos, there's also pictures. Pictures are a great way to introduce something new into your PowerPoint that isn't going to bore your students to tears. A quote from an article called Kids Speak Out on Student Engagement states, I am interested when there are lots of visuals to go with a lesson. PowerPoints are nice, but they can get boring if there are too many bullet points. Pictures and cartoons are usually the best way to get attention. These visual aids will keep your students on their toes every time they come into class. Other than visual aids, there's also hands-on activities like bringing in incentives and competition and teamwork. Incentives are a great thing to bring into your class because it makes your students feel like their work is worth more than just a letter grade. An example of friendly competition and incentives would be my 5th grade class. My teacher had split the class into 2 teams. There's Team 1 and Team A. And you work the entire quarter to impress your teacher and your team, and at the end of the quarter, points were tallied, and whoever won got pizza. And it wasn't just a single slice of pizza. You went home with an entire pizza because that's how much your work was worth to your teacher. Other than competition and teamwork, other than competition and incentives, there's also a degree of teamwork. You worked very hard to impress your team and make them proud of you because that's what you strive to do in the class. And quote from the article, empowering students to take ownership of their learning states, by creating an environment where their effort will impact other people, you can help students recognize the tremendous power they have even while they're still students. And lastly, don't be afraid to mix it up. Teachers, being spontaneous is a great way to keep your students intrigued. If your learning becomes dull and placid, add something cool. It caught your attention, and it's going to catch your students' attention. In summary, fun and spontaneous is good, teamwork, competition, incentives are needed, and visual aids will go a long way in the classroom. I hope you use these things in your classroom in the future. Thank you.